on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's kind of hot out today. It's only 101 degrees. But, so today I thought we would do something inside. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up a 20-gallon Leopard Gecko tank. So, let's get started. Okay, so first off, you're going to need a bedding or substrate. I've seen people use tile, paper towels, newspapers, but personally I prefer repti carpet. Also, you could use sand, but if you do that, I recommend you feed them outside of it in a separate container, because if they ingest any sand or dirt, whatever you put in there, it could be very bad for them, and it could potentially kill them. Which is why I'm using repti carpet. It's clean, safe, and very easy to clean off, and it looks very nice. So, next, the thing you're going to need is you definitely need to monitor the temperature and humidity. So that's why I have a Zoomed gauge, which monitors the humidity and temperature, and it's got a little Velcro backing, so I'm going to put it right in the middle. That way it kind of monitors how the whole tank is, because you're going to need a cool side and a warm side, so you can't have the whole tank at 90 degrees because they could overheat and that could potentially kill them, or you can't have the whole thing at 75 degrees because that could freeze them, because they are cold-blooded, which means they rely on the temperature of their surrounding area in order to thrive. So for that, you're going to need a cool side over here and a warm side. So for the warm side, you'll need a basking lamp, and the cool side, you just leave it be. So in order to begin, I'm going to use this log. It's just a fake plastic log. Looks nice and natural though. So we're going to stick that in here. And that is their cool hide. So it allows for them to come and rest in here if they're feeling too warm. They can just go on in here and they'll be fine. They'll cool down, and then eventually they will move back to the warm side. So we'll leave that in there. And then next, you're going to need a warm hide. So here's a warm hide, pretty basic, just a half log. So we can stick that in their warm side, and that way they can go under there, or they can even climb on top, and that way they can bask on here, and I'll get more into that later. Next is the most important one, and that is the humid hide. You're going to want to put that right in the middle, right where it's in between warm and cold, and that is because they really need these humid hides in order to help properly shed during their shed cycles. So in order for that to be humid, you're going to need some sort of substrate in there. People can use paper towels, not really sure what else you use, but I use some sphagnum moss, however you say it. So basically, you just set a little pile in there. Got some, it's all natural frog moss. It was about like $8 for this giant container. I still have a bunch left over. So what you do is you just stick that down in there, like so, and then you just stick the humid hide right on top, and then your leopard gecko will go in there and move it around however he or she wants, and she'll be just fine. So next, I'm just going to add in a decoration. This is just some grapevine. So we're just going to stick that back in here. Allows for a little more place to hide in the warm side. So next, that way they can go under here. They can go in here or here, and they can even climb up and bask. So next, what we're going to need is something pretty vital. Just set that over there. And that is, of course, water. So all you're going to need is a nice little shallow water dish for them easily get into, and they can even submerge themselves, but not to where they can't get out. So you're going to want to put this in the cool side so the water doesn't heat up and get all gross and nasty. So we're going to move this over a little bit. And as you can see, can't tell if you can really see, but there's a couple steps here. So that's really helpful, and you'll see why I bought that one especially after you see our most important part. So next, you're just going to fill it up with water. I just got a little Dixie cup of water. And you're going to want to actually watch it, because crickets will jump in there and possibly even poop in there. So you're going to want to constantly be cleaning out the water and just replacing it. It's not that hard of a task, but something, nevertheless, you really have to do. So next, I actually forgot to grab what goes in here, but this is going to be not a food bowl, because in order to exercise their hunting skills, you're going to want to put crickets and mealworms just allowed to roam around. But we're going to put that in here for now, and then I'm going to go over here really quick. So get out. And I am grabbing repticalcium, which is a big thing that these geckos need in order to keep healthy, strong bones. So what you basically do is you just get this, and pop it open, maybe. There we go. And you just put a nice little thin layer in there, like that. And that allows the geckos to get a proper amount of calcium. And you can also put mealworms in there. I do that sometimes, so they know where the food is. And also you're going to want to, what they call dust your crickets and mealworms, is basically you could put them in just a Ziploc bag with some calcium, shake the Ziploc bag around so they're all dusted with calcium, which helps the leopard geckos when they eat them. So that's what goes in there, and so that pretty much completes it. Of course, you're going to need this basking. This is going to be a basking thermometer. So this will go right where your hottest spot is, right underneath where your bask lamp is. So I just like to set it down on the half log, and then when you put your cage on, your basking lamp will be right about here, heats up that little part, and that way you can monitor where the temperature stands. So now, lastly but most definitely not least, you're going to need your leopard gecko. I've got my little leopard gecko right here. Oh no. There we go. Okay. I've got my little leopard gecko right here. His name is 3-Pete, and he is a hypermelanistic leopard gecko, which means his pattern is basically reversed. Instead of having mostly or predominantly yellow and then with brown stripings, he is brown with yellow stripings. And so the reason why I have really easy accessible water and everything is because he is a rescue. I actually rescued him from PetSmart. They had him up for adoption and nobody wanted him because he had a broken arm, right, or leg right here. And so now that's why his name is 3-Pete, because he has a broken leg. But he's, as you can see, he's hopping along just fine. He's doing great in this tank, and I actually had another rescue. Her name was Mystic, but she recently passed away due to a disease, skinny tail disease, which is where their bones get really fragile, and they don't store any nutrition in their tail. As you can see, he's got a nice fat tail, but she had a very skinny tail, very skinny bones. She wasn't doing too well, so she's passed on now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the next video, which is where I'm going to be going to the Super Reptile Show in San Diego, and I will be picking out a new little buddy for 3-Pete. So yeah, so that's going to be great, and what they feed on is crickets and mealworms, if you guys didn't catch that already. But yeah, so this is what you guys are going to need. If you only want one gecko, I recommend you don't need this big of a tank. You only need 10 or 15 gallon. Would suit one, but I'm going to get a second one. So if you want to breed them, I recommend 30-gallon tank, just to give the female more space after she's now gravid. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.